the only way we've made money for the last 45 years. Usually when people begin the phrase, the Jewish people should, whenever anybody begins a sentence with, the Jewish people should, normally they're not really friends of the Jewish people. It's usually some kind of wordplay, sarcasm. It's usually people that don't wish Israel well. Our president continues to be the wordsmith of all time. I don't think anybody is going to have more quotes, even though you may hate all the things that are in there. The quote book on this guy is going to be volumes. So here we go. His quote, and this is me quoting him. I'm sure you can get a YouTube and have all that fun yourself. But let's just get right to it. When you jump up and say, which I love that he jumps up, and I love that he says stuff. When you say the Jewish people should not vote for Democrats, that would be disloyal. You think, oh my God, there he goes again, telling the truth that nobody will say. Forget the Democrats. W. Bush was no friend of Israel. With all his Christianity and all that stuff, he was still gave Israel a hard time. Bush the father gave Israel a hard time. Republicans giving church-going Christian Sunday Republicans giving Israel a hard time. We all know what flourished under Clinton and Obama. How was life in Israel when those two guys were in the... No help, no phone calls. At the end, do you remember Clinton at the end? Oh, at the end, I can make peace. No, you can't. Because you never stood up for Israel along the way. So here we are again with my favorite outspoken president telling a truth that no one else has the nerve to tell. If you are an American Jew, and you love the Democratic Party, then you know Donald Trump is just telling the truth on you. You don't like the state of Israel's government. You don't like Netanyahu. You didn't like Moshe Dayan. You know, you have never liked the strong men and women. Bing! Bing! Golda Meir in the 70s. Don't even talk to me about what women are allowed to do. Don't even talk to me in my lifetime about what women are allowed to do. You know, Billie Eilish, I keep coming back to women. She's a great kid. I love what she's doing. But that is a well-treaded path. Thank God. Being a young recording artist. Being the prime minister of Israel means society in Israel had pretty big brains and pretty big downstairs cojones. Are there upstairs cojones, you say? Yeah. Tall people. She ruled with an iron fist. Merkel over there, I had high hopes for. I really did. I thought she could. She can't. It's not easy, male or female. It's not. Look at Macron. Is he tough? Is France tough right now? No. Is Britain toughening up? You bet. Is Britain getting ready to hard Brexit? Yeah. Are they going to have disruption? Yeah. Is prices going to go cuckoo? Yeah. Why are they doing it? Same reason that Trump is fighting with China. You fight with China, prices going to go cuckoo? Yeah. But do you have to do it? Yeah. Yeah, what's wrong with you? What do you want to wind up speaking Chinese? What do you want to do? Wind up speaking European? If you are Paul Scahill, love him. Read about his posts and his Edinburgh fantasy. It's out there. He's a funny guy. But he's a Brit. He will tell you he doesn't want to be a European. He doesn't want to wake up one morning and go, oh, you know what, Paul? Great Britain is just one of many great Europe. No, easy. Now, liberals will say, there's the racism of it all. there's the oppression. I'm going to bring up to you a point that you need to research on your own. I do not want you to believe me. There's too many talk show hosts telling you what to think. I will not once tell you what to think. I will tell you what I don't like. I will tell you why I don't think things, but I will never ask you, please think this, don't think that. I'm not going to insult you. My teachers never did that with us. I don't know where this is going on in college today. I had nuns in Catholic school. They didn't have a class every day. This is what you're supposed to think. They gave you a class. This is what 5 times 5 equals 25. Divided by 7 is 3 with a remainder of 4. That's what they taught. Good math, huh? You say, oh boy, he screwed up now. He threw out that 25. He's trying to divide that. It shouldn't be noticeable. All of these things are they not? They're all noticeable. Mathematics, the weather, the rain, everything's a big deal now. Everything is worthy of mention. So there he goes. He starts. You say, well, he's doing this to distract. This is what small-minded people keep projecting onto what he's doing. What he's doing is he keeps saying from the day he ran, this guy had a list 100 items long. Today, Denmark isn't upset. Well, gee. Look, you ever hear of Harry Truman? This is not a new idea. Why else would he be going there? What do you think? He needs to buy teak furniture? What else would bring an American president he's got a bigger agenda. He thought maybe he could pick up some resources and some strategic superiority over the Soviets. What are you talking about? That's what you're supposed to do. He's commander and chief. He's looking for advantages. You know what he's looking for. I support 1,000% what he's looking for. He's looking to intimidate Russia and China militarily, keeping a happy face. Of course, I'll never use them, but I am going to be able to blow all 1 billion of these Chinese and all. What's Russia got? What is Russia's population these days? Russia used to have an enormous population because it was the USSR. Now it's just Russia and all of its client influence states. And Russia doesn't have the body count that it used to. Somebody will get the body count on Russia. So that's his job. His job is to point guns at people and say, we're America, we will kill you. Oh, no, Ed, God, please, you're making everybody cry. America doesn't want to kill. America wants to kill its enemies before its enemies kill Americans. Let's have a vote on that. How many Americans would like to kill our declared enemies before they kill us? The people who are saying, I will kill America, how long should we let those people go? What do you want to do around the world? ISIS was rediscovered yesterday. It's like another, they're going to say it's racist. It's an infestation, and it's not a racist one. It is an infestation because they're terrorists, and it's okay to liken a terrorist to a cockroach. Now, it was a great guy on Delaware 1059. Great caller. And I disciplined myself because of this man. He was very passionate, called up the show, but he could not tolerate my use of the word cockroach on people who break our law for their own advantage. You want to come to America, I love you. You're not a cockroach because you want to come to America. You sneak in the middle of the night with a coyote, then you are a cockroach, and I am going to shoot you out of this country. I'll give you 2 warning shots to start running for the border, and if you keep running, then I won't run after you. 2 warning shots, and you got to run. 3rd shot is pointed at you because if you're still within distance of me after 2 warning shots, you are by definition a threat. That is the threat of criminal trespass. And more than one of you at one time, I might be outnumbered. That's all you need. under natural law. I was going to bring this up earlier, but maybe it's better applied right here. There's something that the founders put in all of our documents, and the clowns that are trying to run the country today and take it away from the people running it now, the clowns don't even know how to look this up. You should look it up. It's not difficult. Wikipedia does have a version of this that's safe to say you could operate with. So I'm going to let you use the Wikipedia version because it's enough to make this point. Nature has taught you, whether you're too stupid to look, whether you're too preoccupied to value what you're seeing. Either way, nature is teaching you in natural law. Look at these insects that I talk about. Look at these infestations that Trump talks about. Look at the Wild Kingdom videos when we were kids. You know, the two antelope running, the elk running, the squirrel, you know, the beaver. You know all of this. I shouldn't have to tell you all of this, but you're so thick with videos and data, you know, downloads and data caps and Wi-Fi and high-speed broadband. You're so filled with, you don't experience what natural law is. You can't learn natural law off a page. No way to explain it to you. You must pay attention to the seasons. Not your climate change political claptrap. You have to appreciate what is happening, find the rhythm of the way the world is operating without you, by the way. Many things in the world you have no impact on. None. You are nothing to most of the universe. This great narcissism that's going on. I broke the planet. I have to fix the planet. I'm going to Mars. I want to live for 200 years. I'm going to be cryogenically preserved. With the new, what is it called, CRISPR, I'm going to take the gene pool of my baby and make it less likely to get the flu. You know, Dr. Mengele or Dr. Frankenstein. Take your pick. Both on the wrong road. Both heading the wrong way. Remember? We liked Frankenstein the monster. Why? Because deep down, he was a guy who wanted to be loved. What do we think of Dr. Frankenstein? How horrible to put your science ahead of the poor what's he supposed to do now? Now you're successful. What happens to him? Well, we'll get him a bride. You see what I mean? In the fictional world, you can always fix it, can't you? But you can't fix it in the Dr. Mengele world. Oh, that's not fun now. No, there's no sound effects. There's no movie cameras now. That's just a real guy chopping up human beings. Oh, let's see. Who chops up human beings today? That would be ISIS, the Arabic group. Say, well, a few Christians do it. Yes, there are Christians also in the Arabic part of the world. Yeah, you can't escape it. You want to dress like it's 600 on the calendar. It's 2019. You are 1,400 years off. That's it. Nobody said you can't wear it. You wear whatever you want. Say whatever you want. But do you get it? Don't come to me like you're with us, like it's all good. You're 1,400 years off, which you obviously have the right. Again, I didn't say we have to accept people as different, but we don't have to accept threats from people who don't like us. So when I find somebody who doesn't like us, America, Israel, people, when we start with the I don't like that, then it doesn't matter to me what you wear. It doesn't matter to me what color your skin is. This has been the biggest lie about Trump and the squad, is that it has to do with color. If anybody is color blind, it is a president born in Queens. That's it. He's what people hate about him is when he does this with the squad, when he does this with the Jewish people remark, he's not willing to be afraid of you not liking what he said. And if you don't have his attitude, you do not have what the founders put in place. In order to be truly free today, you have to punch out a lot of people. You got to kick a lot of people in the balls and down flights of stairs. What did Cuomo say? I'm going to kick you down a flight of stairs and ruin your stuff. Right. That's what, now, he's a dope. I don't support him. But he accidentally said what is true today. You have to be ready to fight with anyone. If you are, I don't want to have to fight with everybody, then this is a hot kitchen for you. Then if you don't like the heat, they used to say, get out of the kitchen. America is a hot kitchen right now. So if you can't change your ability to withstand the heat, if you don't have a personal adjuster on you, I'm telling you, you got to unplug for a while. Because the smart people are going to fight this out no matter what. People can't stand all the fighting. There's going to be people not strong enough to handle all the fighting. So the smart people are going to have the fight because it's worth it. There's a lot at stake that the not-so-smart people, they're not going to know what they're losing. We've all seen this. You know, great-grandpa didn't know there was oil under that land. The oil company found the oil. They didn't tell Grandpa that the oil was there. They gave Grandpa $10 for 100 acres, and they're making $100 million a day. That's why people don't like the oil men, because they were smart. And they took advantage of people who were not smart. You say, well, don't say that about... You got to. When a farmer has a big, rich executive talking to him, the farmer has to say, I'm going to fleece this rich guy for every nickel he's got. He can't say, let me just take the $10 right now. It's what I've always charged, because you were in a transaction in capitalism. If what you want is anybody that walks up to you, it's okay to do whatever, that's socialism. So here we are with the smart people saying, you got to kick China in the nuts. You just do. And what are you going to do in the Middle East? You got to kick the Arabs in the nuts. Do you understand? You have to keep kicking them in the balls until they fall down. What are they doing with the tankers and the Straits of Hormuz? Kick them in the ball. Now, this doesn't say, this is not genocide. Oh, he's not talking hate. We're not talking anything. We're talking WWE. Kick this man in the balls, put him down. Do not kill him. Do not choke him out. Don't commit homicide, but win the wrestling match. Knock the wind out of him. Make him gasp for air. Ask for his surrender. Don't ask for a deal. That was Obama. We're going to make a deal with the other wrestler. No, you have to beat. You have to tap out. In wrestling, it's tap out, babe. You have to tap out. You have to surrender. If you die on a wrestling mat, that's your fault for not tapping out. I'm not going to give in. I can't breathe. I can't hear anything. I'm not going to tap out. That's you killing yourself. That's not the other wrestler choking you. He said yesterday, Eric Garner was killed by Eric Garner was not killed by the police. Eric, what's his name? Eric Garner. Earl Gardner is the old guy that wrote Perry Mason. I keep confusing them because I like Perry Mason. But the guy who got choked on the street, the fat guy for selling the cigarettes, he needed to be choked. He killed himself. That police officer is doing what the guy was all over the news yesterday. Nobody have him on. I'm trying to get him on, but he's on. None of the mainstream will have this guy on. Look for him all over yesterday. I wanted to see what he looked like, where to find him. There's a guy out there, and he's absolutely correct. He's sticking up for the police. The police come first, not some fat piece piece of dirt selling those cigarettes like he deserved to break the law. No, you do not deserve to be allowed to tell the police to F off while you break the law just because you're fat, just because you're black, just because you live in the ghetto. None of that counts. You broke the law. You did not surrender to the authority under law. You're not going to see any intelligent person fight with an officer, ever. Nobody intelligent ever fights with the cops. Are people insulted? Why did I get pulled over? What do I look like? I don't belong. Yes, all the time. That's a separate issue. Your job is to shut your big, fat trap and not fight with them. Now, if they come out there drunk and they're pointing guns at you, you got to get out of there and save your life. Godspeed. But that's not who's complaining. Who's complaining is the taillight was out. Why is the police officer so upset with me? Because you got a taillight out. You are a dick. Watch your language, will you please? God love us all, Tiny Tim. You got to give the stations a chance to hit that button, Freddie. Now you got to let the delay build up. I've been listening to this bogus argument since Blair Underwood was on L.A. Law, favorite show, a great actor. And he handled it the right way. He hated it. But what do you think he did? What do you think? He spit on the officer? Do you think that he punched the officer? Do you think he put his fists up? Yeah. So you're getting shot, you're getting a gun pointed in your face, you deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. You're 1,000% wrong. You're exactly what's wrong with society. What's a guy's name? Is it? It's not Earl Stanley Gardner. That's the guy who wrote Perry Mason. Was it Eric Garner? I think it's Eric Garner, I think. But I'm not going to get, it's the same thing with the serial killers. I'm not going to memorize these names and make these people, he's that fat piece of dirt that kept saying to the police, get off, get off, get off. No, you don't get off. You say, yes, officer, God damn it, you fat sloth. That's what kills me. It kills me. You're born in a free country like this. Yes, you're black, you're born in Brooklyn, whatever, but you are born in a free country. Then you're given the gift of height. Do you see how tall that guy was? You were given that gift. Now, he went and became the biggest, disgusting, fat slob. He couldn't even move or breathe. That's on him. But he was given this gift. All this guy had to do was go to high school, keep his mouth shut, and get a job. He'd be alive. The officer is now I see how it works in America. Maybe because I'm a half Italian, I think it's partly that. Because his name is Pantaleo. But I will say this, whether or not I'm wrong or right, that's just my intuition. I'm sure there's a grudge being settled with him. But here's what I know about America. And I know he's going to get a big check from the New York City Police Department. They're going to rue the day they fired this guy. They think that they're going to get some kind of racial harmony by firing him. You're going to have more trouble because you fired him than ever, and you're going to pay huge money. He was brought up on official charges. He was given due process. Like anybody. Charles Manson was given due process. And the Rosenbergs got due process. You get due process no matter how horrible the accusation is. You get the due process. It's in the Constitution. It's what makes us not some third world country. The reason we're still around, the reason we're so good, the reason that everybody who hates us these days is wrong, from Barack Obama to AOC, the whole crowd that has criticism of America, these are people that they have their own insufficient self-esteem. They feel bad about who they are. They feel different. They feel less. Anybody who keeps telling you, I'm not less, that's somebody who feels less. Then they're going to try to say, well, it's your fault that he feels less and she feels less. No, it's not. You didn't make them feel bad at all. They have a psychological defect and they try to use you as the therapy and the cause. Because if you did it, then they don't have to blame their parents or blame themselves. They want to have somebody to blame, so it might as well be you. Since you look like you're actually living a life, they would like to interfere with yours because theirs sucks. Don't you love it? All right. You doing this? Yeah. All right, we got about another 30 minutes to go.
Grew up working class in a place they call the Bronx. Learned on the corner about the school of hard knocks. Found out his rap could be his salvation. Well, now he's talking all across the nation. It's the EdTyll Show. It's the EdTyll Show. Come on, everybody. It's EdTyll. Now that you tuned him in, you know what I mean. People call him up, discussing every scene. Love him or hate him, he's gonna have his say. He's gonna speak his mind each and every day.
So here we go, right? What is there not to like about a tax cut? You say, I'm going to let people have a little bit more of the money that they earn.
That's it!
What could be the problem with that? That's not a problem. What are you, crazy? That's okay. That's fine. We can have... Oh, I'll leave it open? All right, I'll leave it open. Phones are open, 917-310... Oh, look at that. Holy cow. Oh, yeah. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Could you answer it? It's ringing off the hook there. Yeah. All right, there it is. He should be there. Are you there?
It depends. Who's asking?
Look at you. It depends. So tomorrow is a big day for you. This afternoon is a big day for me. Well, in your words, Michael, what is going to happen tomorrow?
I'm going in for a back surgery. It's called, I don't want to say it wrong, it's a micro-lapinectomy or...
Let me see if I can get you a little bit louder. Can you get a little bit closer on that phone?
I sure can.
Yeah, there you go. Go for it. You got it. Beautiful.
It's called a micro-lampinectomy. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, but it's a back procedure that involves an 18-millimeter incision, and they go in and they're going to repair the damaged disc at L4, L5, and we're going to hope for the best.
Now, I was going to say, right, and hope for the best. So, this is an area, like back surgery, is like a whole universe of thing. People have gone, I mean, in the old days, people that hear this word, they go, oh my God, back surgery. There are people that had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 back surgeries over a long period of time, is first thing. Second thing is technology has really moved dramatically in these areas. So... what's different about what they're going to do to you than, say, what they would do this, 10, 15 years ago? I can't believe you're coming home on the same day. That right there is a mind blower.
I was a little shocked when I sat with the doctor, and he explained all this to me, too, and he said, now this is an outpatient procedure. You'll come in at a certain time. We'll do it. You recover a little bit, and you go home and recover there.
All right, so you told me a little bit, and let me see what I remember correctly. They're going to do a small incision. Is that right?
Yeah, they're going to make a small, couple of millimeter long incision, and then they're going to expand the opening to about 18 millimeters with a set of sliding gauges, for lack of a better term, basically spacers. They're going to put the one in, and then it pushes open a little bit, and then they put another one in until it gets to the size that they need. And then the final tube that they insert is hollow, and he operates through this orthoscopically with instruments which are really long, and they go in and he works with the big goggles on and the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
Well, see, this is where, now, I'm so glad you said the goggles, right. I have no patience for virtual reality, but I'm so glad the technology is there for this. I don't worry about virtual reality at Best Buy, but I love the idea that your surgeon can put on glasses, goggles, if you will, and he's now capable of doing, important work without literally crippling you to get at you. You go back 30, 40 years to do any kind of work on the backs. Yours is, I tried to explain earlier, you got a disc that ruptured, and what came out of the disc, he has to now go gather up and extract so your ecosystem back there can go back to the way it's supposed to be.
You know, I'm very fortunate that it took me over a year to find this particular specialist, but I'm glad that I waited. I just didn't rush into anything. And, you know, he is in the area here in New York, Dutchess County. He is very well respected in this field. And when he explained everything to me, he did it in a way that was common. He didn't boast about his education and look, I'm a doctor.
Right, exactly.
And I'm going to talk over you because you didn't do what I do.
Yeah.
He didn't do that. He spoke to me, not over me.
Right.
And with that, he won me over with speaking to me. And he described as your disc is kind of like a cream-filled donut, and it's stuffed with crab meat. He goes, and what happened in your accident, you got whipped forward and backward, and you pinched it, and you squirted it tore open, and some of the crab meat squirted out. So
there you go.
We're going to make this little opening, and we're going to go in there, and basically we're going to clean it all up and take out all the overstock, and you have to now sit still now because there's no way to surgically repair the disc except for time. They can take away all the stuff that's coming out, but it has to heal on its own.
No, you know, this is actually, that's a better healing, because in the old days, if they were stitching or using something to fuse two areas together, you would have the byproduct of the reattachment. What's going to happen with you is it's going to grow back in a natural healing. That allows you to eat all healthy food, you know, like carrots and all that crazy stuff, because your body will manufacture the repair job, not the laboratory squirting in an artificial, substance.
Yeah, it's a natural. It's a lesson to. It's not a very invasive approach to the procedure. It is a natural thing. And I had a doctor a long time ago tell me something when I had another surgery on my neck a long time ago, and he said to me, we're going to take some bone from your hip and we're going to put it in your neck to reconstruct the damaged vertebrae. And I said, well, that sounds linked. Isn't there like other alternatives? And he said, yeah, we could use cadaver bones.
Right.
But what we don't know about those bones now, and what will we know 10 years from now?
Right.
He goes, we knew nothing of mad cow disease 15 years ago, and look what we know today.
Yeah.
He goes, you will not reject your own body.
Right.
But you might reject that.
Absolutely.
So this is like a similar approach. Just let it be. Nature will take its course. Just needs a little help to get there.
Right on. No, it's great. You know, I'm so impressed. Honestly, you know, we were talking this morning, right? My impression was, I knew your countdown was on. Like I said, I thought today you'd be fasting all day and all this kind of stuff, or the other.
After midnight, it's like a gremlin. Don't eat after midnight.
Yeah, no, I mean the idea that you're coming home is crazy good. That speaks volumes about your recovery. But here's the thing, right? I'm thinking that after they're done with you, it's going to be like you're not even going to know who you are for a couple of days, and you are actually going to sleep in your own bed. So I think that's fantastic. When I found that out today, I had a whole different. I was thinking about you being some, invalid, like in a body cast and all this crap. That's great. I'm really happy to hear
Actually, he said that the incision is so ininvasive that they're going to put a waterproof bandage over the incision marks there, and I'll be able to shower the next day without any problem, and that patch will be sufficient for a few days.
That is so great.
I don't. Yeah. So after you get past the first 24 hours, which is any hurdle, then after that you can just do light things. I can't pick any. I'm not supposed to be able to pick anything up.
You got to treat it. You should treat yourself like a ball player right now. That's what they do, man. They all about maximizing how you're going to be after recovery. Absolutely. Any suggestion they give you, I would maximize. I would do the extreme version of relaxation, no move. Let that thing heal. Because the good news is you're going to get a good heal. You're going to get a very good heal.
When Dr. Paris explained that to me, he explained it to me in that way, and I was like, oh. He's like, yeah, so the more you're moving around now, there's the potential for you to push more material out.
Right.
He goes, so try to minimize your activity as far as physical exertion. Don't go carrying,
Right.
don't go removing, trees in the yard kind of thing.
Exactly.
Don't even carry the laundry basket to the machine. You could
Right.
do more harm than good until after it's over.
Yep. No, absolutely, all the way. No, seriously. Like I would treat yourself like you're on the Patriots or you're on the Yankees. Those are two ball clubs. Even Boston once in a while doesn't enough kid gloves. The Yankees are so used to everything has to work out because they spend a fortune, and I'm just glad you're getting this kind of care. You are getting what an athlete would get only 10 years ago. Only the most expensive people could get this. I'm glad you can get this. Yeah.
This whole nightmare took a year to get to this point. Looking for the doctor and the whole 9 yards was actually the simple part, but this was all workers' comp. I was in an auto accident while I was on the job, and
nightmare.
Workers' comp. If anybody who's even dealing with workers' comp, let me tell you that. Let me just give you this: they're not for you. They're for them. They're not for you. There is no protection of the employee anymore.
No.
It's all about protecting some company who can make a contribution to just write a check. There's no you. You're just a number. It took a year for me to get what I should have had all along.
Mike, I'm telling you, we have a good friend. You know him. I'm not going to mention his name, but he runs a camp in Cold Spring. Is it Cold Spring? Right, one town after you go out of... Yeah. He's over there, and I think it's 2.5 years, and they're making him miserable. It's an obvious related injury. It's not even possibly anything else, and they're making it. I don't know how many hearings he's been to. I don't know.
I've had hearings.
They're all
2017 we started these hearings for this, and here it is, 2019.
Right. It's always adversity. It's always, here's why you might be lying. Here's why it might not be true. It's because so many people have jacked with this system over the years now. They're all jaded and paranoid. They look at everybody like it's a big scam.
It is, and I get why they have to be cautious, but at the same time, they don't need to be. This is what they do to you. So you go to these hearings for these hearings, and you go to a room, and this happens to be in Poughkeepsie, New York.
Right.
You have to drive from Connecticut to Poughkeepsie, New York, once a month to have this a virtual hearing, where I have to go and sit with a judge who's on a big TV screen, and there's a traffic camera on top of this big 50-inch flat screen.
Right.
And if you're lucky, they'll send some lawyer from someplace to negotiate for the New York State Workers' Comp Fund. This is how they do it.
Right.
They never say the same person twice, their lawyer, and none of them ever have the authority to make a decision.
Right.
This is a never-ending process. I had to take it back and talk to my boss. And then when the next month when you come back, it's somebody else, and he's like, well, I didn't get any answer. I will have to go. And it's just a never-ending nightmare.
I feel
That's
you.
What workers' comp
I feel
is.
you.
That's what
man.
workers' comp is.
They know the psychology of this. The managers at these joints are, for everybody that you wear down and finally gets discouraged, is money we save. So
exactly.
They love it if you start to look dispirited. Now, that's not a problem with you. People who meet up with Mike should never hope he's going to give up or he's going to get discouraged. But a lot of people do. And that's also money in there. And they get a pat on the back for that. All right, something, that offsets another scammer. And it's not the right way to do it, man. You got to give people honest consideration. If you gave honest professional consideration, you won't get scammed. They get scammed because they're not looking. They're paying no attention. It becomes easy to scam them. Then when they find out they've been scammed, they won't turn it in because they would get fired because they were supposed to not let that happen.
And here's the thing with the workers' comp. Workers' comp has their own definitions of things, and the medical profession has their own definitions of things, and neither one of them coincide with one another. So 100% disabled by the doctor, okay, you've got a back problem, you can't work, you can't drive, you're 100% disabled, you got to stay home until you're better. Well, the workers' comp says, well, you can't be 100% disabled because you and I couldn't be talking if you were. So you're not 100% disabled, and it's like... You just want to scream because neither one of them talk to each other. The state of New York is so far behind. The state of New York is so far behind when you have to send anything to this incompetent workers' comp board. And yes, his name is Michael Yezzo, and I'm going to call him out. You have to send him a fax. A fax is how behind they are. Not an email or anything else. You have to send a fax.
Right.
I've had procedures that were rejected because the doctors emailed in the requests for the procedures, and they've come back, sorry, you didn't fax it, request denied.
That's it. That is the true.
Because it wasn't faxed. A 1970s technology.
That's it. That is the true bureaucratic experience. It's 2019, and you won't take an email, and I'm sick. I'm trying to get well, and you don't take an email, and you're in the business of making people well. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Their website runs on Java. You can't even talk to the thing.
Java.
You can't. The New York State Workers' Comp website operates on Java.
Java.
Anybody with a Windows 5 computer can't even talk to that thing.
Hilarious. Like, I don't even know what Java is, but I love saying it. Java.
Yeah, it's operating system Java. It's been outdated for a dozen years. I'm not a computer guy, and I know that that's older than dirt.
I was going to say, Java reminds me of dial-up.
That's basically right when it is, you know.
I love that. I used to love that sound effect, the dial-up sound effect on the air. Whenever I could play that on the air, I used to have so much fun with it. But that was a long time ago. Wow. Holy cow. All right, well, I'll tell you what, you're in good hands, and you should really give training to people on how to be a customer advocate, a public advocate. That's what you should really be. You should get paid to sit with people and coach them how to not get screwed in a big system. Social Security, yours is workman's comp.
You should have seen this bottom-feeding lawyer that the New York State Workers' Comp Board sent. I mean, this workers' comp law is beyond complicated, and it seems that the only lawyers that want to handle this stuff are the ones that graduated at the bottom 5%. So you have to keep in mind that that's the mentality that you're dealing with right off the bat. So all these lawyers they're sending to work at the workers' comp thing, this is all invented so that these substandard lawyers actually have a place to go practice, because that's what
bottom
it is.
Feeding. They're bottom
feeding. They are They are the worst of the worst.
Without a napkin, come on. At least a napkin.
They're just the worst. I mean, the guy we were in the room with the last time, he took a stack of papers and he threw them at me at the hearing.
Really?
Across the table.
Wow.
Yeah, so I called him an effing prick right there on the tape in front of the judge.
Jumped in there. Good.
And he looked at the judge and he was like, "Judge, I don't have to take this." I was like, and I looked right at him.
Yeah.
And I said, "Don't pay attention to the man on TV. He's not going to help you. I'm in front of you. Worry about me."
Right. Oh, yeah. They need to
worry about you. Millennial 25-year-old snot-nosed kid.
Trying to mess with you. Oh, he's waking up quickly. He's going to
blue
wake up
suit,
quickly. Yeah.
And hush puppy shoes and a pink tie. And I'm supposed to take him seriously.
Gotta go. That's it. Cannot tolerate it. That is intolerable. All right. Well, listen, I'm looking at the clock here. I got to rock and roll soon. So, tomorrow, you said you're going in at noon. What time do you go in there?
They're going to call today. You know how this does. They call you the night before and tell you what time to be in the morning. So I'm actually waiting for that call to tell me what time to arrive in the morning.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll be in touch
Kelly,
later, and then we'll coordinate.
I'll have Kelly send you a message and let you know how everything goes throughout the day tomorrow. I know that our friend Sherry is coming to help, to come along.
Beautiful.
So,
all right. Well, listen, I think it's going to be great. I am thrilled that the prognosis is what it is. That, in other words, the procedure is what it is. You got this great surgeon. I'm very happy for you. I know it's been forever. It's going to feel like big progress after this, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, man. Godspeed, and I'll talk to you later, and I'll get the updates tomorrow from Kelly.
I'll have Kelly update you throughout the thing, and good luck at the dentist today.
Yeah, man. Right. I'm going. This is going to be.
He has his work cut out for him. Your mouth is set in its ways.
It is. He's also a very well-known. He's a diplomate, which means he's on this board of surgeons, and he's been doing this for a long time. So
you better hope he's a Republican and doesn't sew your mouth shut.
Exactly. Well, there you go. Well, I wonder how many have thought that. Oh, I've heard this guy on the air. Boy, it's a chance to get back. This would be, yeah. So who knows? Let's hope he's not aware of anything I say on the show. But that would be the best way to go. What do you do again? I play a lot of golf. I don't really do much.
Yeah, I do some fishing.
Exactly. That's how I'm going to tell him. All right, Michael. I'll talk to you later today.
All right, be good and have a great rest of your day, and to the rest of the listeners.
You got it, man.
Party on.
You got it.
Bye.
My man Ed don't sit on no fence. He's sorting facts with a razor's edge, and that That, my friend, can be mightily intense. He's more than just a voice on the radio, sending out the truth to those who don't know. Man, if you can't see the world out there, you better watch out. EdTyll strip you bare. Come on, everybody to the show. To the show. To the EdTyll Show. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Come on, everybody, EdTyll, EdTyll. Come on, everybody, EdTyll. Come on, everybody, EdTyll, EdTyll. Come on, everybody, EdTyll. Come on, everybody, EdTyll, EdTyll. Come on, everybody, EdTyll. You may not like what he has to say, but he's gonna say it to you anyway. He's the baddest cat around. Got the sharpest tongue in this whole damn town. He's EdTyll, EdTyll. All the news and storylines to all the main events. EdTyll's just a voice in the wilderness that just don't make no sense. He's EdTyll. Come on, everybody, EdTyll, EdTyll. Come on, everybody, EdTyll. Come on, everybody, EdTyll, EdTyll. Come on, everybody, EdTyll. More than just a voice on the radio, sending out the truth to those who don't know. And if you can't see your world out there, you better watch out. EdTyll will strip you bare.
EdTyll. You may not like what he says, EdTyll, but he'll say it anyway, EdTyll. He's the baddest cat around, EdTyll. He's got the sharpest tongue in town of all the news and storylines. Through all the main events, there's a voice in the wilderness, because you know it doesn't make any sense. EdTyll. You may not like what he says, EdTyll, but he'll say it anyway, EdTyll. He's the baddest cat in town, EdTyll.
Yes.
He's got
It is the EdTyll Show, EdTyll.com. I'm loving this, aren't you? I have to give all this credit to Davis, honestly. I was going to wait. I wasn't going to get right back on. I was taking my time building a broadcast studio at my leisure. And, it's been nonstop. I haven't had, I was talking about this even a year ago. By the way, happy anniversary to the Sussmans. 9 years ago, their first date. I love them. I don't remember going on a vacation that was a vacation. I tried to have a vacation last year, and I got so severely ill with the flu that I had 2 days of vacation, and I was sick for 3.5 weeks. Horrible. And before that, it was a while. I don't remember one in 2015, 16, or 17. I don't recall any. I maybe a couple of days here and there. Come to think of it, a couple of days. But I don't know about a real vacation. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. That's the way it is. Is a little bit of an exhaustion factor with that. So anyway, I want to thank Davis for the fact that we're even on doing this right now. Because I personally was just going to take my time all summer, build the studio. And then we have stations that we're set for later in the year. But I was going to keep all the time prior to that to myself. I was, because why not? The weather is beautiful. But Davis got me going one day by mentioning the podcast, and I have a love-hate thing with the podcast because long before they used the word a podcast is since you download it, right? That's the whole thing. But recordings of shows, playing recordings, playing best ofs, playing replays. I've always loved that. If you're a fan of this format and this medium,